Hey guys, I'm Lighty, and today's videos, it'll be kind of a short video, but we're gonna be discussing, how do I phrase this? It's like investments and path. This is more just like a history lesson, if anything. Less how to do something and more just telling you what has happened and kind of what became of it. So we're gonna be discussing some items that have gone legacy throughout history, and how that impacted certain things, and some maybe investments you can make in the future depending on if to go legacy or not. So we're just going to take a look at some things. So there's some things that went legacy and in the past that really caused quite a crash. So let's just go over the list here. A big one, and I lost a lot of money in this investment, is Crown of Eyes. So Crown of Eyes is a Uber Circlet helmet. It used to be, well, the second most expensive item in the game a long time ago in 1.0, basically. It was like 40, 50 exalted. Now it's 10 to 15 C, if that. And the reason it was so expensive is because it had the increase and reduction to spell and attack damage. It added the effects of more damage. The reason that's important is because you have stuff like Righteous Fire, the 59% more damage, so that would add to your attack damage if you were Crown of Eyes on. Pain Attunement was the real big one. But it would give you 30% more attack damage, which is kind of obviously gross. So that when that was nerfed, I purchased 10 Crown of Eyes for about 45 to 50x each, on the chance that it's a gamble. It's a risk I was willing to take, and they didn't go legacy. They just got nerfed across the board, and because of that, they went to 10C overnight. So I went from having a 500x investment, which easily could have gone to 1,000, 1.5, 2,000x in profit, to roughly 20C. So that backfired. Mjolnir has been changed twice now. It has been a popular build throughout history. It's a cool item. It had cool properties. It was just cool. It's a hammer. You like Thor. That was, there's some meme behind it. It was introduced to 1.1. And then it was really popular from 1.1 to 1.5. And then it got nerfed. It was 100%, it went to 50%. And then the 30 went to 50. But when it went from the guaranteed to 30, it went from 5x, and it went legacy, 5x to, 60x probably. And I had about 6 of those. Whether or not there's like insider trading, it's hard to say. But it was just more of the fact that I sunk the similar amount of currency into it I did in Crown of Eyes. Not as much. I spent maybe 50x in buying Mjolnirs, and I made 500 back. But if you do the math, I didn't make as much back as I would have with the Crown. And then they got nerfed twice since then, and they got buffed again. But then they added the internal cooldown on the triggering. Yeah, they got nerfed pretty hard, but it's still okay. But that was a massive investment. Now it's a T1 unique. Kadiro can sell Mjolnir for 8 to 10k coins, but it's literally trash. It's vendor trash. So that item has dropped throughout history. It's interesting because they don't change their drop tiers of items. This is still a T1 drop despite it being actual vendor trash now. Vingtars is still good, but it was, people don't realize how strong Vingtars is now, when it's still probably the strongest item in the game. If you think about how insane it was before, it had 100% leech, not 20. It granted the leech. You didn't have to get Valpak, and it didn't have the 80% increase to 100 charges, so you can use it twice per flask. Those went from 5 to 60x. I had a one of each of them. I still do, a full set of Vingtars. So that was insane. Whether they get nerfed again is hard to say. I hope they will, because the game is arguably balanced around Vingtars at the moment, or flasks in general. So that's a bit of a bummer. But, they might get nerfed across the board. At Zero's Acuities, these were 100, 120x. So these didn't go legacy. They just got hit hard by everything. And then they also apply no penalty to leech when they changed how leech works. And they just got nerfed in general. It used to be a lot stronger. Valpact wasn't as good. Yeah, so it used to reduce your leech by 60%. And then in 2.1, they removed the leech reduction. All right, so between 1.1 and 1.3, Acuities were crazy expensive. And then the nerf to Valpak happened, and then the nerf to Acuity followed, and it was across the board. So everyone's Acuities were changed. It wasn't just... They say it's based off the coding, whether an item goes legacy or not. I don't know if that's true or not. I think they just kind of decide. But it didn't go legacy. It just got nerfed. And now it's really only expensive because of how rare it is, but its usefulness is 0 to none when you have stuff like Vingtars in the game. Hand of Wisdom in Action is obviously a very popular build. It also just got unique art, which is kind of cool looking. But Hand of Wisdom in Action is one of the things where if you do care about standard, and considering how cheap it is to play Hawa, or the abbreviation for Hand of Wisdom in Action, it costs like a couple X, and you can just face roll the hardest content in the game. And yes, a lot of that is because of Vingtars. So whether Vingtars gets nerfed, Hawa might not be as good. On the flip side, they might change how flasks work. Hawa might still be insane. And if the off chance it is insane, it could go Legacy. It's possible. It's not. And the question is, how worth it is the investment? Well, Hawas are 8 to 10C. Realistically, 8 to 10C. People often buy them to corrupt them, and they're quite common. So it wouldn't be that difficult for you to stockpile an entire stash tab of Hawas. And there's a lot in the game, but remember, a lot of them are corrupted. So, if you wanted to look for an investment in the future, Hawa is a decent one. No one's really surprised that Sack Harvest is very popular. Val skills in general are very popular now. Val Fireball, Val Spark. They're extremely good builds. They clear crazy fast. Most of the top people pushing the chain content are using either Val Fireball or Val Spark. Some people, including myself, speculate that either Val skills will be changed, Sack Harvest will be changed, maybe limit to 1. But that limit to 1 might not be universal. It might again be Legacy, in the off chance that you could have multiple Sack Harvests in Standard and limit to 1 in Softcore or whatever is possible. If you look at Chilla Corruption, that was nerfed from 80 to 50. So they do change these Val gems, and they did make this one limit to 1, but not to say that they can't. I'm sure the coding is there, but it just, when it comes to looking for investments for the future, I would say How is a good one. But yeah, that about wraps up this little, I guess, history lesson and maybe advice for the future. When it comes to investing into things for Standard, think Legacy and think down the road. Stuff like How is extremely strong build at the moment and has been for some time now, since it came out. So it's a definite possibility that it could be nerfed, or it could have the other facets like Vingtar, like CI of it nerfed, which again would make the build not as strong. But considering the investment, 10C per Hawa, I would not be surprised if they did go Legacy, and if they did, they could be multiple Exalted each, making you a nice little profit. So if you care about that, that's fine. If not, then I hope you just enjoyed the history lesson. I'm Lighty. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Have a good day, guys.